What's up, everybody, and happy Father's Day to all the good dads out there. As some of the guys backstage know and in the group chats and stuff, I was having a good Father's Day up until the very end here, and then all hell kind of broke loose. So, yeah. So we got Charlie from ShedTesting.com going to be joining us tonight. We got the usual, or at least some of the usual co-hosts with us. So let's go ahead and bring them out. We'll bring Charlie out as well. We got Mr. Chris Shelley. What up, brother?
Hey, man. Only happy Father's Day to the good fathers, not the bad ones.
Yeah, the ones that let their kids get hurt on Father's Day. Tell you what, man. Oh, that's going to haunt me the rest of the night. That's literally going to bother me all night. John, Mr. Triforce, what up, brother?
What's up?
We got the one and only Mr. Sorrentino.
Mr. Deep, if you're nasty.
Yeah, Mr. Deep. And then we got Charlie, the one and only. Now, I didn't have, obviously because of how today went, I didn't have time to get this loaded up to StreamYard. But Charlie, do you have any confessions you would like to make right now about you and Sorrentino's relationship?
Uh-oh.
Oh boy!
Is there anything we should know?
He likes to flirt with me a lot on Instagram.
Okay, all right. Well, then this totally explains this photo that I'm about to show.
Dude, look at that bod on me, man.
Look at my nipples.
I wish you looked like that.
Look at that. Dude, all shaved up.
We're driving to Tinley together.
That was the first thing. That was the first thing he said this morning in the group chat. Basically, it's just like, what the hell?
Nice talk, Chris.
The things that keep him up at night.
He was probably all giddy this morning to send that out.
He's doing all the graphics for my next website.
I can't wait.
You're gonna have to click like I am above 18 to visit this website before you go in.
There are some probably warnings that I should even put on this podcast for everybody beforehand.
I'll behave.
Dude, all right, come on now. Now, we all know that all of us cannot behave when you're on. At some point, things go off the rails. It's just how it is.
Keeps it entertaining.
It does. It adds that certain level of, like, you know, I don't know. It adds that certain level of spice. Put it that way. Let's go through, say hi to some people real quick. Vance, what's up? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Tara, Voodoo Doll Royals channel member. Thank you for tuning in. John, what's going on, dude?
John,
good
no
to see you. Good to hear from you.
John.
Anna, what's going on? Thank you very much. We got Casey, what's going on?
Yeah, what's up, Casey?
My best friend Mel.
Mel's
gonna be slaving away over the cooker this week.
I can't wait. It's Saturday.
Dude, we are going to be eating good this weekend. Good. Mike, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Phil, what's up, brother?
It's Phil.
Everything's going well for you?
Fill up.
Marcel, what's going on?
Marcel.
Calvary Exotics, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Everybody, if you are new to the channel by some chance, hit that subscribe button, please. Also, don't forget, everybody, hit the like button as well. Because if you don't, John's cat's going to show you the business end.
Yeah, right. He means the business.
Doing, dude.
John, did you even watch that video with the cats that I sent you?
Might have. Which one?
The one with the cats wearing different helmets. Like, they're helmets made for cats.
Yeah.
Like, and I think your cats all need one.
You saying his cats are special? What the heck is that?
Dude, there's like Star Wars helmets and shit. Like,
oh man, like
so you're saying like helmets,
superhero, Halo, like
the wall.
all sorts of stuff, dude. Like, John could make Jawa look like a Jawa.
I can't believe he's sitting here. He usually, the voices usually make him run away.
Usually the voice is making
Charlie here, man. He's always getting pussy.
There he goes.
And here, there goes the monetization.
He's had enough of your shit.
I'm out of here.
He's like a magnet.
Oh God.
Fucking Jawa.
All right, let's run the first channel sponsor, and then we will get this show on the road because Charlie's only able to be here for about another hour, roughly. So
Got
I want to
curfew.
make use of this man's time to our best ability. So here we go. Gettysburg Reptile Expo LLC is one of the premier shows of the Northeast. Located at the All-Star Event Complex in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, it's a 45,000 square foot venue that houses 270 plus tables, 125 plus breeders, with an amazing selection of snakes, lizards, geckos, turtles, amphibians, and invertebrates. Doesn't matter if you're a breeder looking for that next high-end piece to your project or a pet owner looking for your next scaly friend. Stop it off the SC Serpents there to meet all of your racking and incubator needs. The show dates for 2025 are March 29th, July 19th, and November 8th. So make sure you stop out, and I will see you at Gettysburg Reptile Expo LLC. Make sure you guys do come out because that'll be coming here before we know it.
I'm gonna miss that show this time.
Dude, that is a shame.
I know.
Does that mean I get to have Sorrentino spot?
Huh?
Does that mean he loses his spot and I take it?
No,
I think that's what that means,
I
right?
get my spot.
The whole show,
Nobody wants you over there.
the whole show layout will be changing at some point, Jeremy.
Yep.
Well, I knew that was coming. I just didn't know when.
I don't know if it's this show or next show, but they're getting there. I've seen a couple photos of some of the redo.
Oh yeah.
To see what it looks like in July.
Last time we were there, it was nice, man.
Got the arcade. They got a lot of the arcade in.
Oh
I
wow.
saw the arcade stuff.
You
So
coming
we'll
down,
talk about
Charlie,
all that
in
shit
July?
after Charlie hops off here. I want to make use of Charlie's time so that way it's just not like, really, I showed up for this shit to not even say 5 fucking words.
He already feels like that. Just leave him
I
alone.
mean, this is what I watch when I'm usually working on Sunday nights. So.
Oh, thank you, Charlie. Thank you.
Then I'll text Chris like some weird pictures to make him laugh while he's on the show. So if you ever see him looking down and smiling, it's usually me saying something stupid to him.
After seeing that last pitch, I don't know what them pictures are about over there.
Oh, he surprises me.
Oh man.
I thought I was bad.
I have to play proper once in a while.
Yes.
So what's going on, Charlie? What do you got cooking up over there? As far as your breeding stuff, or do you not even have time for that shit at the moment?
It sucks because that's the worst part about this is that I could have had some cool pairings this year, and I started early in like November, December, and nothing. They were locks like crazy, but nothing was growing. No follicles were growing. Everything was small. I think it's because I was low on ASFs and I couldn't like pump my females like I normally do.
That'll do it.
That's the only thing I could think of because they were getting tons of locks in, and only like one girl has gone off food and had a pre-lay shed, and I don't even know I have no idea when she pre-lay shed. I just have to check every day because she could have been last week or it could have been 2 months ago. I don't remember. But so I check every day. She's ready to go. She's a phantom het monsoon to a special het monsoon het hypo boy. So if we get lucky, maybe we could hit some monsoon het hypos, but
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah.
But I've got some other stuff. I mean, I lost like a ton of colonies. I went away to a show Bob's show in February, March, whenever that was, and I came home and like all my ASFs were dead. They didn't have water for like 4 days, and they just annihilated each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had that happen.
The water line clogged, and
blows.
I'm like the whole bucket. I'm like the bucket's full. I'm like what? And I'm pressing up on the nipples, and nothing's coming out. And then I went and looked, and it was clogged. So
what was it clogged? Like, what did it get clogged with?
It's like
insulation from the room, or I don't even know what it was.
The water will actually like goop up at a certain point in time. If you don't keep it regular and clean your lines, it will like coagulate. It just the crap in the water. It's nasty.
You're supposed to replace those lines like every few years.
Every couple of years you should.
So that killed me. Like nothing has eaten frozen for me in like 2 years. I've been feeding live for 2-3 years. So the hatchlings are eating like frozen. So I'm starting to just feed them. Whatever will take frozen, I'm trying to feed frozen right now while I build back my colonies. I think I was because I have a freedom breeder rack, and then I had like 4 of those like scientific rat breeding bins that have like the little indent in the metal, and those were fine because they were on a separate line. So I had to redo all my colonies from there. And then I have like 2 local people in the area that breed ASFs and rats, like not on a huge scale, but like one girl has like a corn snake, and she was breeding she's like, oh, I'll breed my own ASFs, and now she likes just breeding them, so she winds up getting 100 extra, and so she'll message me, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll take them all. She's like, how many? I'm like, all of them.
You should hit up Tyler. I think he's by you, right?
Nah, he's far. He's like
he's on the other side of the state.
Yeah, he's far.
All right.
Everybody, and then there's another guy down southern New York. Nobody anywhere within an hour of me, and I don't have the time to waste to drive 3-4 hours round trip or anything like that. So I ordered frozen. I've been feeding frozen whenever I can. I'm getting back up a little bit. And because I stopped breeding Norwegians because I hated them. And so the one girl locally who had a few ASFs, she had some Norwegians adults. And so I bought them from her. And so now I have to go back to doing some of them because at least they'll grow faster. And that kind of screwed up this season, I think, which is all right because nothing was going to be amazing. Stuff like all my really good stuff is like either next season or the season after that. So, and I just don't have the time. Like last year, I had my most clutches, I think 7 or 8, and I was like drowning. And like, I was like, I don't know how people do any more than this. And I was like, mainly because they all came like in the same month. Like they were like back to back, and I got no rest.
Me and John are like, yeah, we know what you mean. I remember a month ago, John's like, oh, you already had 16, 17 clutches, and now he's got more than I have total already. It's just wild how quickly it escalates in certain collections, man.
They just start jamming. It gets nutty.
Yeah. And I didn't want to produce anything. Like I have a couple girls like that went last year. I have like a pied head clown female breeder. I'm like, none of my really awesome males or anything that would be worth it to pair to them are old enough yet. Like, I don't want to just make a bunch of clown pieds or clown pieds, head hypos, or clown double head pied hypos, or it's just I don't want to try to have to sell $300, $400, $500 snakes. Like,
you want to make it worth the time and effort, especially since
I don't have the time.
Very limited all time.
I hate selling snakes because I hate wasting the time packing and shipping, and I hate it. I just don't have the time for it. I mean, it's not hard, but it's just now it's insane.
With your full-time job too, it's got to be even tougher because you've got
and my day job for the last 3 months, my day job was pretty unforgiving, you could say. Like it was nonstop. Like hours were crazy and everything was just nuts. But things have slowed down at the day job. I have some really, really, really cool stuff in the works for shed testing that's going to free me up some time. Can't talk about it yet, but hopefully in like 2 weeks.
I was gonna say you beat me too, and I was gonna say, "Ooh, dude,
no, I can't. I can't talk about it. It's really, really awesome.
Nice.
And we got what else? We got 4 sets of data coming back. Hopefully early this week, maybe even tomorrow, which is going to be tri-stripe, red stripe, mandarin, and MJ exanthic. All that data back.
All right.
So I'm probably gonna have to pick and choose what I work on first, and see.
Do you still need any sheds for any of those, or are they pretty much done through that process?
What's that?
Do you need any more sheds for those?
No, I'm pretty good. I got tons of, like, I sent them, like, when I send in the homozygous versions of all that, that's when I really need it. And obviously, since I sent out the mandarins, like the super mandarins, I got like this week or last week, I got like 6 super mandarin sheds in to test for other things. I'm like, God, like, because the more you have, the easier it makes it on the back end, because you'll get less variance between the two pools, the normal pool and the mutant pool. So if I do just like 1-to-1, or even say I have 20 or 30 normals that I pooled and I sequence, and I already have the data and all of that, I don't have to redo that every time. But when I'm looking for a new mutation, I have to get as many as I can of that, and then that'll, because that pool then makes it more rare that there's going to be the same mutations. Because if we just compare to a normal and a super mandarin DNA, there's going to be tons, thousands and tens of thousands, probably maybe even more, of variants that you'd have to go through. But when you pool them and you put a ton of them in each pool, those variants will slim down to hopefully isolate that mandarin gene.
Oh, interesting.
But so I have tons of like, especially like Tri-Stripe and MJ, and I have tons of stuff like that. TSK is done.
I was going to ask.
I will release it eventually. I literally need to do like one more validation test on it to make sure it works with my system. It works the old way, like through Sanger sequencing and everything. I just don't want to release it like that because I don't have the time to Sanger everything. So I literally, when I was just doing a run right now, if you hear humming in the background, that's my machine. But I was going through looking for primers, and I saw the TSK. I'm like, I've been promising everybody this. I'm like, Jeremy's definitely going to ask me about this.
Oh, there's another one we're going to ask you about.
Nah, well, that one is going to take a little longer because that's one of those things where I know that we don't have Kevin. I know that we didn't have all super forms in the pool that we sent out. So that's why that's going to take a little longer. So I was talking about what I'm working on. That's going to free up a lot of time for more research for me. So, and I'm starting to do my own like bioinformatics as well. Like I need something else to do. Normally I would pay. Like, so when I get data back, like I said, for these 4 mutations, like Tri-Stripe, whatever, I have the guy who I send all the data to, and he has a really fast computer and the tools. He does all the comparisons and then sends me back like a spreadsheet list of everything that I have to go through. But,
how you make it out with the vanilla test?
Vanilla's out. It's good.
Oh, it is? I didn't see it on your thing.
No, it's available.
This guy just asked about red stripe. When you go to test red stripes, since the most visual appealing red stripes are the ones always with the granite attached, is it going to be separated? Like when you do red stripes, is it going to be just red stripe, or are you going to be able to?
We'll see. I'm hoping that there's one line of red stripe. Let's put it that way. I probably didn't put it in there.
Oh, okay. All right.
You do it. I thought that's your job.
No.
But if you're ordering tests, it's in the drop down to select.
Okay.
I'm hoping there's only one testable line of red stripe. We'll see.
Then over, if you were messing with it, like it's back all like crazy because the granite gene is attached to like.
I mean, as long as the supers that I got from people are actually supers, I should get some good data back.
Right.
If there are 5 lines of it, the data is not going to be good because obviously there's going to be a lot more variance in that file. But if I see something really good that makes a lot of sense and it's only in my mutant pool, then I'm going to just validate it like I did with lace and everything else. You just test hundreds of them. I have tons of things labeled red stripe here. But like I didn't start out with lace, I'm going to start out now with any dominant mutation is before I even run a single validation test, unless it's my snake, I'm going to ask for a picture of the snake before I even do it. Because that's what screwed me with lace. Because I had the lace mutation. It was the first one I picked because it was so obvious. But when I first tested it, like it wasn't accurate. but it wasn't accurate because the snakes weren't lace. I took the word for everybody's on the Ziplocs, and then when I went back and did it again, and was like, wait, this looks like it's it. And then I asked that guy for pictures. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, those aren't lace. He's like, what do you mean? Like, they're not lace.
Sorry about your luck, but it's not lace.
But,
really
so that's what you have to do with
Timu lace.
Yeah, I got one.
One
I
line
got
of it.
burned.
There
Even
could
the
be
lace-
2 lines, but I don't know. Until I see it, I don't know.
I'm kind of curious about red stripe because, I mean, you know, John, not all red stripes are created equal, man. The
Well, it's-
phenotypes are all across the goddamn board,
And
man.
people aren't really shooting for supers either.
Well, the thing is, when you even hit the super red stripe, what most people are seeing in the red stripe combinations, from what I've seen, they're picking up the granite because the granite's what does the bubble sides and all that kind of stuff. But red stripe gives it that burgundy color or whatever. Red stripe by itself, when you separate it off the granite, it kind of looks normal. I mean, it's a brighter version of normal. So, like I said, everybody, like, when they want that red stripe variant, it's 90%. Like, they were looking for the one with the granite attached. So I wondered how that's going to be with the supers. Because you're bringing them back together, is it super granite and red stripe? Like, how, like, you're gonna have to pick and choose through that, I guess. Like, how to figure it out.
Do you think like the granite will come up on the test, like something different?
It might be in there, but I'll never know because we don't know. We couldn't isolate that unless you were like, hey, this is a bunch of those granites that are in red stripe. Here's a bunch of sheds for them. Then I could try to see if I can find it, but I won't know, you know, because I'm looking for red stripe. So
right,
I'm validating. One, when I look at the data. So to answer Will's question, when I get data back, say I get the data from the lab on Monday, I'll have my Excel file of variants by Friday. And literally at that time, like everybody always asks me how long it will take, how long far out. Even at that point, even when I have all that back, it could literally take a day or it could take another 5 years. I have no idea. It's just like how monsoon was. You know, it took, although the monsoon test that we're using is actually the first thing I ever tried out. We just kind of skipped over it because it was really hard to design primers for it. And we just figured out maybe it's not it.
Have you had it?
Being the first one that I chose. But so yeah, that's how it is. Like if I look at like red stripe and mandarin are going to be more difficult than anything, but xanthic and tri-stripe will probably be fairly easy because I know I sequenced only homozygous versions of them, and 2, I'm pretty confident that the samples I have here, when people say it's 100% this, then it's easier to trust people on recessives than it is on codoms.
Right. A little bit room, less error.
And then also things like xanthic, we already know sort of what genes do things like that in other animals. So those genes will pop out at us on the list.
So do you think, like how you were saying, same genes do things in other animals? So that's how you trace monsoon through the granny type, the genetic code of another animal. I'm
Right.
talking about that. Another thing, do you think that in some way, like granite is similar to that you could find it in that similar location? So if something was coming up while you were looking for red stripe,
we'd have to have the sheds from those. I mean, if I'm looking at the data and I see that only in one pool there's a bunch of things, and that pool is the pool with red stripe, but I also say I find red stripe, and there's also something that's only in this pool, then I could say, hey, if somebody has these granity things with no red stripe in it, let me know. Send me a shed, and I'll test it against that. That's something, it's possible, but it's very hard.
Me, like the red stripe gene, so tough in certain things. The granite is what shows the red stripe. Like if it doesn't hit the granite gene, it doesn't look red stripe. That's where it gets like so crazy with that gene.
Yeah, I mean, and then like everybody's always, granite this, granite that. I mean, is it one gene? Is it 100? Is it just a tiny mutation that comes up once in a while? Or is it just how some look? Is it even a gene at all? Is it even a mutation at all? Or is it just a difference? Is it just something that could happen?
That's why That's what I call
Might be
granite
no-
lags. Look, another granite gene. Like there's so many of them. They do different things too.
Yeah.
I mean, just like that new one that I'm getting and looks freaking crazy. But
well, if it's genetic, it's a gene. If it's not, it's just a phenotype, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
It could just be a
Just
difference.
like a line bred trait.
Right. You know, most likely it's some type of mutation, but say that mutation might be able to happen in multiple different places to cause some look like that. So stuff like that is way, way not near the top of my list of things to do. You know, but who knows? But yeah, tri-stripe and D-stripe, that could definitely mess things up. You know, somebody sent D-stripe and said they were tri-stripes.
Have they
those are all,
been bred together?
I have no idea. I know
I don't even know
zero
that.
about D-stripe.
Yeah,
All I know is
has
Serrano has some,
Never heard of
and that's the
D-stripe.
person I know who works
It's the same as tri-stripe,
looks very similar, I think.
but they're trying to call it a different line like BPI and TSK. I don't know if that's true or not.
Well,
But, yeah,
we'll
Will's
find out
saying they're not
shortly.
compatible, so I don't know. I don't know enough about D-stripe, so I couldn't
Never
say anything on it.
messed with them.
But yeah, that's things that happen, and like people want tests and they want them quick, but it's not as easy as it sounds.
Well, not only that, but it's also one of those things, and this is where, like, I knew at some point we would hound you on the bang test, but let's be realistic, though. Out of all the people breeding, all right, there's only 12 of us, maybe a little bit more, but basically a handful of us that are able really to put that test to use. I mean, yeah, it'd be hella nice.
And it's not even a lot. That's not even the purpose of it. You know, I'll do it. You know, I'll get a test for anything if I could get the sheds. But the problem is, like, I got all my sheds from one guy.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with only us, a handful of us doing it, though. All of us are at different stages. Not all of us are able to produce the supers that you need, especially if you're an unlucky SOB like me that can hit a shooting star but still miss.
Yeah, I only made a handful of them. Like,
I'm lucky, dude. You hit like 9 out of 10 het clowns on the last run. What are you talking about?
Oh wow!
The het clown part was the out of the ball part.
Clown. That's what happened.
But all of them being male was missing the
That's perfect.
bullseye.
You made one
This
for all
poor
of
little
us.
girl over here isn't het clown because Jeremy took all that clown.
Dude, I will say this: when Charlie sent me those results, I told him, "Like, dude, I will do a backflip if this last one that needs to be
You do a little bit more."
Jeremy, that was a curse and a blessing though, because they were all male.
Yeah.
It really was. It was like, great, I think.
It was the odds gods saying, "All right, we fucked you on this aspect, but we're at least gonna bless you on this end."
What they did was make sure, like, oh no, bro, you need to totally keep all these. Not, yep.
I can peel one out of his hands.
Yeah.
Dude,
But again, bang is going to be difficult. One, because I have so closely related animals that I'm doing it with.
Yeah.
That try to explain it, but it makes a difference, you know. And then validating it, great. I could validate it on all Nathan's and a couple of your guys' stuff, but is it going to work if somebody is it going to, I don't know. Like, everything's coming from, it's still so new that it hasn't been bred out in other areas. Like, so to make sure that we're not getting just a biomarker for it. So my goal though with Bang is I want to make sure it's not a biomarker, which is going to take longer. I mean, if Nathan or you guys like, hey, test this on your biomarker test that's been 99% accurate. All right, I'll do it. But I'm not releasing that test because when I'm looking at that data and I see something like I saw in Lace where it's like, oh, this gene is known to have pigment, mutations in this gene are known to cause pigment mutations in other animals or humans or anything. Like, okay, now this is good. Now we're getting somewhere. This might be it. And it's just going to take a little bit deeper of a dive than, when I have 25, monsoons from 25 different breeders.
Yeah.
It's just different. It takes longer and it's harder.
There's only 2 people that have supers, so I think right. 2 or 3.
I mean, technically, I don't need supers, but it just makes it much more difficult to find the causative mutation when you're looking at it. You're more than likely going to get so much more data back. Like the data is the variants are just going to be huge, and like it's going to take time unless you just pick the ones that has the best percentage on the top of the list and just go with it and hope for the best. I could do it, but I don't want to have headaches down the line. I don't want people to come back to me.
That's right.
That's what happened with lace, man. I spent months and months validating that one single test and that one mutation that I knew from the beginning had the best chance of being a mutation for freaking any test that we've ever had. And even Jurgen and Heather, everybody I worked with on this, the people that test overseas, like, this has got to be it, But like, yeah, it's got to be it. And so once we started validating and I'm seeing things weren't matching up, and then I'm looking at the snakes, I'm like, okay, let me only test the ones that I see that are actually lace. Or ones I only see that are actually white lace. So once I started doing that, a couple big breeders started sending me stuff with pictures and everything, and it was it. It was game over. It works. I'm more confident in that test than any other test I have. I'll say it right now. So I used to, when I first released it, I was like so nervous, and even though I was confident in it, but the more I've been testing on it and the more snakes I see when people send me back those negatives and those positives, or people that know what they're talking about, when I give them results for 4 or 5 snakes and I say, hey, only one proved out, and they're like, let me guess, this one. Yep. That makes me happy, because guess what? They look different and they look a lot better than what everybody thinks they look like.
Yeah, I did that with you.
I totally agree with that. Even some of
that's funny.
You said there was ones that were like they looked it for sure, but then there was other ones that came out that were absolutely spectacular. So it's like, okay,
right.
Yep.
Yeah, it's when you see it, it, man. Like when they're babies, it's tough, especially in clown, especially when you have yellow belly involved, especially when you have fire or pastel.
Yeah, imagine yellow belly.
But when you got them that are, either single genes or,
I'm going to send this one up to you, Charlie.
Is that a condom?
That's too
boy,
big.
That was pretty big.
No more kids?
God damn.
No, I just remembered that that pewter leopard lace I got from you, John.
Yeah.
I'll send that up, just shits and giggles of it.
Yeah, man.
So that's one that's
around the world.
Like pewters,
negative. I already give you the answer. Negative.
Black pastels and cinnamons are very, very difficult.
Where's my coin at?
So wait,
it's going to be
black
negative for lace,
black pastels
but
and cinnamons with
clown,
lace
head
are hard
hypo, and head pie.
Yeah. Then me
$50. They're not necessarily hard to ID. A lot of the times they'll get confused as white lace. Because lace and black pastel and lace and cinnamon cause such a big change that sometimes people are like, holy cow, this one's got to be white lace.
I think it's supers.
And I know that because of some testing I've done that a lot of breeders have had that issue. And they then were selling every baby as lace because they believed it came from a white lace when it wasn't white lace.
Wow.
So
I know this girl. Let me go get her one. She's killer.
Fucking Jeremy. Show and tell.
It suck.
So when you,
I literally have an album in my phone of like almost every lace combination there is of snakes that I know are lace or white lace. So when somebody comes back to me, it's like, oh, this is lace. I'm like, okay, here. No, this
It looks head hypo.
Oh, wait. is that head clown, head hypo? Yeah, I could tell by looking at it.
Is that pewter head hypo?
So if you told me
talk.
No, it's just pewter leopard lace.
No, it's pretty.
I mean, I would, if you told me that this is a pewter leopard, I'd be like, okay. I have no idea how to see lace in that. I don't, maybe it's just because the camera, but that I would
looks
never,
bright.
I would never guarantee that. I'll tell you that much.
It's eating good.
I say, no, she eats great. That's why I figured it's like, what the hell? Like, she actually just shed.
They really light. Most pewter leopards are real dark, but
Yeah,
So I said,
that
when that
belly,
came out, it was white.
that belly's so high.
And it was the end. That was a super high floating pattern. Those who come from white lace at that time, I'm just like, I'm so confused by it at this point. I'm just like, whatever. Something else.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it
it.
sure,
I
it
don't know.
sure as shit could be, but that's not going to be a great snake to showcase what lace could do, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, Christ,
You know,
there's so much.
Yeah.
if that proves out as lace, then you're golden because, you know, hopefully you'll make prettier babies than that.
Mhm. That's the crazy thing.
I just told the breeder who breeds some pretty high end stuff the other day. He sent me a bunch of sheds, and one of them like, oh yeah, this one is lace, and it was like cypress, crazy combination. And he's like, oh okay, thanks. He's like, ugly as hell. I'm like, yeah right. He sent me a picture. I'm like, oh yeah, it is ugly as hell. It was just no pattern, no, like just shit.
Keith, thank you,
Keith,
bro.
what's up, buddy?
That was for me. You got a Venmo.
You only get 5 of it.
Give me my cut.
Give that'll be like 50 cents, Sorrentino.
Ah,
You
I had a
figure
question about testing. Like,
2 for every 10.
$1 an inch.
when you test Orange Dream, is High Orange Dream on the same thing?
On my test that I'm still validating, yes, it is.
Okay.
Really?
So the deep, I guess the deep might be there too. Because I didn't know if they like moved off to whatever, like if there was a way to.
It might just be another mutation somewhere that causes a little different look, or it's the same in its line bred.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I would figure line bred.
And same thing as like with snakes and alleles. Are they close on the chart? Like a Phantom next to a Mojave? Like
Yes.
they bells? Okay.
Yes. So anything that's allelic has to be, most of the time, has to be very close to each other.
Okay.
Did they ever finish the Confusion Acid one? Did anyone ever? No.
No.
Yeah, that one.
Eventually, I'll sequence like a bunch of confusion stuff and see what I get. It's always interesting to see what 2 different people get out of it. But
Where's it at now? Confusion acid are the same and static is different, or
no, RGI is saying that acid is different than confusion.
okay?
But he was saying the way he was describing it, but they're still in the same neighborhood. Like they live across the street from each other. He
That's
said
what I
they're
meant.
different, but they're.
So do they have a confusion test then? I don't know. Do they have acid and confusion test, or just? I know they just had an acid test.
The last video I saw a while back, when they were talking about it, they were saying that acid and confusion are showing up different, but they're kind of like in the same neighborhood. So I don't know if he was leading on to maybe they could be allelic. I don't know.
Could be. It could be just from looking at what they call a Manhattan plot and seeing where the peaks are and everything. But I could talk to him about it and ask him.
Yeah, that's the last I ever heard about that.
Right.
But yeah, those that's great. Like hopefully one day I'll get a lot of these tests a lot of these incomplete dominant and dominant mutation tests, but there's just a handful of people that need those tests for a handful of snakes.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah, all right, I can make you happy, but everybody else is going to be mad because I don't have this other test up.
Yeah. And that's one thing. How do you remotely start to prioritize where you go next? Because everybody's got you got to have 100 people harping on you. Where's this test at? Where's that test at? You got to tell them all, I'm working on it.
So like Rainbow, for instance, Jürgen, who I work with in Europe, he's had data. We've had data back for Rainbow for probably 2 years. And it's just been a little difficult to find it. Tornado. So I got approached by a couple of people in Tornado asking if, we could work on a test for that. And that's even worse than a bang test would be because there's literally like 3 people in the freaking world with visual tornadoes. So say I even have enough sheds and I use hets and I do this. How the hell am I going to validate it? Because nobody else has it. And I can't use the sheds that I use to design the test for validation because obviously they're going to work. Because those are the ones I got the data from.
Yep.
So that's just a waste of time right now. That's it. I know it's such an expensive thing, and a lot of people will like it, but if
that's where breeders got to do it the old school way. pretend shit
Yeah.
doesn't exist for the moment.
Well, it just sucks. Like with the bang, like you're gonna have to sit on animals when you're not sure. You don't want to release it because you're not sure if it's bang or not.
But if it doesn't look bang, or you're not sure if it's bang, do you even want it?
Yeah.
Wholesale it.
I don't think you should be
That's
keeping anything that's
my
questionable.
take on a lot of those things are, even with lace, it's like if you're not sure and it's a shitty version of the mutation, then do you want it? Just because you could sell it as it, and then you're just making shittier and shittier looking snakes down the line.
Well, I mean, if you're
if it's all about just selling it and getting the mutation and try to selling it for the money, then fine, whatever, do it. But for your own collection, do you want to hold back something that might not look great?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. But granted, if you want to sell it as bang because you could get more money for it, then you're going to have to sit on it. But then is the person buying it going to be happy when they receive it in the mail and they just spent $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 on a snake? It's like, this is the bang.
That phenotype, yeah. They're not going to be banged by it. They're going to be booed.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially you guys the main group of guys that are working with the project. I wouldn't release shitty quality ones because it's just not going to help the cause.
Yeah.
It already has a bad rap to it because everybody's calling it OD. So do you want to release? Do you want to sell something that isn't an amazing animal to somebody so that when I get it in the mail, I look at it like, and then I post a picture like, awesome, paid $10,000 for this sweet bang clown. It looks like shit.
I don't know. So far, everyone I've seen, they've been really, really.
I'm just saying, if you can't tell,
no, I get it.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what he's saying. Like I said, I got a couple here. They are unidentifiable because literally I put them in the wrong combos. Right? They're just buried. It's in there.
Some combos hide it.
Of course, if it's a combo that hides it, then yeah, you want to know. But I'm talking because I don't know how deep you guys are into it yet. But if you're talking normal bangs or bang clowns, then you want those to look really nice. Or bang yellow bellies, you want them to look really nice before you start.
Oh, they do. Bang. That's one of my favorites.
So that's what I'm saying. Though the ones that you can't tell that you want to test, do you even want to sell them to somebody for a premium when that person's going to get it and be upset?
Yeah,
that's all.
That's
you got to think about that.
The other thing is too is that with some of the combos and stuff, no one's eyes have ever seen them. So we got to try to figure out, is that it in the combo, or does it just really suck with that gene?
That's why it's going to be so hard to develop a test too.
If you're popping, what he's saying is, if you're popping out a Pastone, it looks like a Pastone, like, might be bang. Who's selling it? Well, you're right. It's that kind of snake. It's not something that's 3-4 genes might be buried in. That kind of shit you can hold back.
Right. If you have a 3-4 gene combo that it just looks crazy and you're not sure if it's in it, and you're comparing it to the other ones, it looks a little better than the other ones, but is it $5,000 better than the other ones?
Right.
But if it's popping out like you did a bang the Mojave and it popping out kind of Mojave looking, you're like, that's a wholesale animal.
As a new thing and for marketing purposes, I don't think those are ones you want to sell for a high value to people.
Yeah.
Because then it'll just give it even a worse rap going forward.
Well, not only that, but then it also comes back on your business name too.
It comes back. It comes back across the whole entire thing. It hurts everybody. Everybody releases a bang that looks like hell. It's going to come down. Everybody's going to see him like, dude, that dude got it from so and so. Do you see that bang gene? It was like, oh, that thing sucks. It hurts the whole entire project.
Right. Yeah, like Will is saying too, like he had a lace look like a normal as a baby, 300 grams. It's one of the nicest single genes I've seen. That's how lace is too. Like I've tested a lot of lace for Justin, and the ones that prove lace, and he's selling them as lace, and like it's just a single gene lace or something. And I'm like, man, that one proved lace, but it's because when they're babies, a single gene lace doesn't look phenomenal.
No. Lace definitely has to grow into
color up. Yeah.
If it comes out as a baby, it's a freaking lights out as an adult.
Right. Yeah.
I messed up with lace a couple times on like big like a lot of combos, like
everybody
Mojave, yellow belly. This was in it. That was in it. It was like higher pattern, floating, whatever. I'm like, that's lace. I made it supposed to be dark.
It's like mine.
Yeah, and unless it's a snake that was worth a ton of money because it was triple het, monsoon, clown, hypo or something, then it's not that big of a deal because it probably didn't sell for a lot of money.
Yep.
But the problem is when like people are buying it because it is lace and they're paying a lot of money because that combo has lace in it, that's when it hurts, you know, because it still falls under most people's, you know, disclaimers and their terms and conditions in Morph Market that they don't guarantee dominant mutations. But when you're buying the snake for that dominant mutation, that's when you have to have that conversation beforehand. Like I said on another podcast, like, and, if it's OD, you know, if it's OD and you were like, hey, I need OD in this Ultramel or in this because I want to try to make the super OD or whatever. I need it to be asphalt. Is it really asphalt? Because I need to make a highway or whatever. That's when you have to have a conversation beforehand. Hey, did you get it tested, or do you just think it's asphalt? And if you just think it's asphalt, what happens if I test it and it's not asphalt, or I breed it and it's not asphalt? What do we do? If the breeder's like, well, I don't guarantee these, then you could go to the next guy. You know,
that's a beautiful thing about
everybody has the right to not, you know, not guarantee anything if you don't want to. But I don't have to buy from you either.
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
Jeremy here it says about Trojan test and when.
So I have a big bag full of single gene Trojans. And that is something that probably a year ago I was like, man, maybe I should try this one in the het form because, you know, I don't know too much about it, but from the ones I've seen, it seems like they're fairly easy in most combinations to pick out.
It's similar to lace.
Right. So, you know, that would be something like that, like where I'd have to go through the bag, see whose snakes they were, message them, like, send me pictures of these, because I want to, if I'm doing hets, meaning a het Trojan is a Trojan. So if I'm just doing single copy sequencing, then I got to be 100% sure that every snake that I sequence at least has one. Yeah, Jeremy, save those.
Yes.
If you have supers, send them. If anybody
send
has
them with
supers,
pictures.
if you have supers of anything that I don't have available, save them and send them in. Because I don't mind spending the money to do the sequencing as long as I have enough of the sheds. Even if it's something that's not going to necessarily generate me a huge return right away. Like zebra. I spent a lot of money on zebra, and I'm not testing a lot of zebra. There's only a few breeders working it, and they love it. But I mainly wanted to do it just to see if it was the same as Mackenzie.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not like that test was like, boom, I'm going to crush it with this test. You know, no. And I could tell by how long it takes my primers to go down to the point where I need to make new primers. And when I see like something I'm running zebra right now, and I'm like, oh, I got to make new primers. That's why I was a little bit late coming back, because I saw that I had this set of primers for so long that I don't want to use it because they might be bad. And so I had to make a new set of primers. But, you know, for things like clown, I crush through them, and I know they're never gonna go stale in the freezer.
What's their shelf like?
It depends on the gene, the combo, honestly, because certain primers react differently together when they combine together. So some primers, like clown, for example, one that I can make primers, let it sit there probably for a year, and it's gonna work.
Wow.
Which ones suck? Monsoon sucks. A couple others I have. I know after like a month or two, I want to make a new batch.
Oh wow, that quick, huh?
Yeah, I mean it's not that. It's not.
What about them makes them last longer or shorter?
Basically, the sequence itself. Like, so certain proteins and certain nucleotides, when they mix together, they'll start binding prematurely before the reaction begins when you put it into the machine. So the longer they sit, the more chance they have of having, binding issues.
Gotcha.
I've got a question. What do you think is like your top like 2 or 3 codoms that are tested? Like, I know the hets are always tested for clowns and everything, but like, what do you think? What is like the most like codominant gene people like to test? Like, you get a ton of it in.
Right now, yellow belly and lace probably.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
a lot of still like
with the lace test, I could see that being like
Yellow dog.
well, the lace test in the beginning wasn't what I was expecting for it to go crazy, but it wasn't. And then I think once people realized that, all right, yeah, this is the test, they were like, and then once people realized, shit, I sold a lot of stuff that wasn't lace, or damn, I just heard about Joe had to give some guy $5,000 back. I'm testing all my shit, you know. There's one big breeder that literally told me the other day that I will not sell a snake as lace unless it's tested. He sends me every single hatchling that could possibly be lace if it looks like it has a somewhat chance. If it looks like it has no chance of being lace, he won't test it. But if there's a good chance it's lace, he sends it in and I test it. If it's 100% lace in his mind, he still tests it because he doesn't want to. Because he had to give money.
That's how it should be.
I'm guilty, man. There's 2 snakes that you tested that I have sold that weren't lace.
Right.
It's only 2. Like I said, a lot of my laces have been. But I'm sitting there looking back, going, like I know why though. Like I said, moving forward, my lace stuff, I'm definitely gonna have you because I think it's good to have the lace test like on that stuff, especially.
Well, it's like
especially like someone like you who's been working lace for a while, who has a lot of it. You pop out a different combo that you didn't pop out before. Granted, you could ID lace better than probably most people, but did you see it in this yet?
Nope.
Oh, you know,
Nope.
maybe you just have a, you know, that's the thing.
That's totally what happened. It was when a snake, but it had like 4 other genes. I just couldn't believe that was the reaction. Was there something else in there? Sure, maybe. It's just, but it wasn't.
Like I always say, twin brothers coming out of the same, same mother, look identical. Twin brothers don't look identical. They look very close. Some of them look really identical, but some of them it's like, oh, you guys are identical twins. It doesn't. You could look different than somebody that comes out of the same clutch. Never mind just the same egg. So our snakes aren't identical twins. The ones that come out of the same egg, technically are. But if they're just in the same clutch, they're not twins.
Yeah.
They're gonna look different because there's how many billions of nucleotides in animals and humans that the slightest change of one of them could causes how we all look different. How Chris is the sexiest guy around,
Yeah, my twin's 6 inches, so.
You wish.
No, like that is definitely to me worth testing because there's genes to me that's not worth testing. Like,
and this breeder, he sends me like the last batch he sent me to test. He sent probably like 10 or 15 snakes to test, and like all but like 1 or 2 weren't lace. So I was like, hey, were these from some of these clutches that you sent in from a white lace? He's like, no, I only just send you the ones that I'm pretty sure are lace. Anything else?
Inspire confidence,
right?
I feel more confident.
Same thing with monsoon. I've been getting the last guy who sent me a bunch of monsoon to test. Almost all of them were het monsoon, and I was like,
wow,
damn. I'm like, dude, were these 50%? He's like, most of them were 50%. He's like, but I pick and choose the ones I want to hold back, and these were all the holdbacks I kept.
He held back the right ones.
Right, because sometimes you can't tell. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Sometimes you can't tell. But a lot of times you can. And, this guy, he held back the right ones.
What are some of the tests that you're looking for sheds for right now, Charlie? For everybody that's watching and or watches on the replay.
Like I said, anything that has a super form that I don't have a test for, I'll take sheds for.
Okay.
After these 4 that we get right now, the red stripe, Mandarin, MJ, and tri-stripe, I'm trying to think what I don't have data for yet that I still am waiting to send stuff out. Like, especially like recessive wise. What do you guys think? You tell me.
Are you doing like any of that sex testing, like male, female?
No. So that's the thing. Like, if I'm gonna, once I get to the point where I have most of the important ball python things done, I'm gonna start. And that's why I was saying before, I built a pretty nice computer, and I started teaching myself how to do a lot of this data analysis and this software. everything like
Look
that.
at you.
Nice, you nerd.
So I'm nerding out, and it's keeping me up so late at night because that's like the last thing on my priority. So like tonight after this, I gotta get the results for this. Then I gotta give the results out. I have to prep for tomorrow, and then by that time it'll be 11 o'clock, and I'm like, all right, let me just go down to the office for a little while and just mess around. And a little while turns into 1:30, and I'm like, shit. Like I gotta wake up in a few hours. I gotta go to bed. But yeah, so it's
The red stripe's really the only thing that I currently think I really need, and that's just because of the one clutch I just hatched out.
What is that?
Baby red stripe. That's the only test that you don't have right now.
Yeah.
And the thing is that the other test
I can use for this year.
And the other test we know doesn't work for a lot of red stripes. So there really isn't a full red stripe test yet out there.
Yeah.
Nobody has one. It works on some, but doesn't work on others. So, but
this is tough.
But yeah, red stripe is definitely one I really want to get. But if it is indeed multiple lines of it, if we could find one line of it and find that where it is and what gene it's on, well, a better chance of finding the other ones. Like fire, we found Heather in Canada. We sent them like fire, vanilla data and stuff that the guy Jurgen in Europe did, and they were working on that, and they found that fire has two testable lines, but they're completely compatible. So they look the same, but you could have a super fire that is het for one and het for the other. Oh, Stranger, that's another one. People want Stranger's one. I know there's no known 100% guaranteed super strangers out there. Everybody says there is, but the one that was sold proved not to be a super stranger by breeding. If anybody has an adult that has bred and strangers, let me know. But again, that's only going to be a very small amount. So stranger is going to be one I'm going to have to do with single copy.
Now, you'd think there'd be more super strangers out there.
I have a super.
Those we don't have,
it didn't work right.
Right. A lot of years, people thought it was mahogany, and then it was like,
yeah.
So that's even like Hidden Gene Woma. You're gonna have to do that off of just a het, basically.
No, I got. Hidden Gene.
Well, you can get the test, but you can't get a super.
I have Woma, I think. I don't even know what I have.
You might have Jungle Woma. I don't know.
Hidden Gene Woma is lethal.
Right.
Yeah. So the only one I know of.
But that's in the complex. That's so same like with the spider complex, and with all those that we got from Heather and Hannah Seidel, they found them because they just found one of them. Say they had a bunch of super chocolates, and they do it a different way than I do. They kind of that's why they work on a lot of complexes and stuff. There are a certain amount of genes that are known to have effects on pigment more than others. So they'll sequence Sanger sequence all of the coding regions of certain genes against, say, chocolate, and see if one hits. And if it hits, then they'll sequence a bunch of them there. Then if they get chocolate, okay, now let's look in the same area for Wookiee. Okay, now let's look in the same area for Spider. Now let's look in this, and then that's how they got them all. And it's a lot of work, but they like doing that stuff, and that's what they're working on mostly. But the way I do it is different. You don't have the time to kind of fish for mutations, pick a gene and then Sanger them all. But
Jamie, it's still undecided currently at this point.
Yeah.
The thing is with that,
Ben and RGI, they're different.
It comes down to the eyeball test,
and that's the thing. Who cares if they're different?
Right.
Yeah. To me, I mean, it does the exact same thing. It looks identical.
Static's the same way. Like the combos, they all kind of intermix.
As long as they're compatible with each other in breeding, then it doesn't matter. Just like fire is two different mutations, but they're completely compatible. Ultramel, 2 different mutations, completely compatible. Monarch, 2 different mutations, completely compatible. Me and Jurgen been working on Monarch forever, and he thought he had a good test for it, and we started testing it, and we're like, some of these guaranteed het monarchs and visual monarchs aren't tested right. Like a visual monarch would test the het. And we're like, this can't be it then. It's weird. It really should be based on where it is and everything.
How far off of Ultramel is the Monarch? Like on the...
They're not in the same gene, so they're different. They're not allelic or anything. So then Heather from Canada said, hey, I found something else for Monarch. So we tested that. Again, it was working on hers, but it wasn't working on all of mine. So like, what if it's 2 different lines? So then if we test the same snakes with the 2 tests at the same time, so like how I do whenever I run Monarch or Fire or Ultramel or any of that, if I'm running 1 shed, it's actually getting 2 tests. So when we did that for Monarch, everything matched up. So some visual Monarchs are actually double hets.
Wow.
You know, same thing like with Fire. You could have a visual Fire that's a visual super Fire that's double het. Ultramel, same thing. You could have a double het.
It's
but
both different lines.
doesn't matter one bit in breeding. You don't need to know that. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
They've done
Either way-
other Monarchs, and it ended up being a double het Monarch Ultramel.
Yeah. No. Yeah, right. If you bred a Monarch to an Ultramel, you'll get a double het Monarch Ultramel.
So it's kind of like acting like lavender to albino. Albino.
Lavender and Candy, if you bred them together, you're
Right.
going to get a double het.
Normals.
Has anybody done the Candy to the rainbow yet?
Mm-mm.
No.
Give me a year or 2.
Yeah, but I'd like to know if that's like compatible or if that's like outside the
Same neighborhood.
double head or all that.
I could just get a rainbow tested against a Candy, right?
Yeah. No, well, it would if they're allelic, then no. Like if it's actually a different mutation, which we know it is based on looking at it, right?
Right. Right.
I mean,
So
Different. I just didn't know if they were allelic if it fell into that.
So that's something I have to look back and see everything we tested and what ones we looked at. I'm sure we looked in those areas first to see if they were. Like same thing with like Monarch. We're gonna go look right straight where Ultramel is, and we saw that it was not there. So just because like Ultramel and Monarch are very similar, obviously they're different, but they have similarities. They're T positive albinos, and they look, they have that same look, but they're not on the same gene.
It's even like the caramels; they were similar to Ultramels way back when people didn't know.
Yeah, people have asked me to come up with a test for caramel just to make sure they don't have it.
Get it out of there, Ultramel
which
stuff.
I get. Again, that's something down the line that I'm happy to work on. But hey, there's so many other ones that people want first.
See, Bob asks, so stranger dominant gene, since if there's no supers? Or is it just that no one's producing any supers that we know of?
We don't know yet. Yeah.
It's like leopard, right? Like we got super leopards out there now, but it's hard to tell. So I don't know if the stranger's doing the same thing yet or not.
Right, but super leopard has been proven by breeding, right? Like people, there's enough super leopards around, and they're old enough to the point where every single thing it produces is leopard. So we know.
It took a long time for it to like come out that it was actually a super too. So stranger might be very similar.
Right.
Right. That's the thing. Stranger's much newer than that.
I want to know why all strangers.
Someday somebody be like, "Oh, this one wound up being a super."
They all look so different, strangers.
They do. They really do.
So wild. I hatched a clutch last year and some this year, and like they all look different. Like none of them look. Not that they
some
all
are like
look
super
alike.
dark, some are brighter, like
different tones of browns and blacks. The patterns are different. Some are cleaner. It's wild.
Remind me of like what they called Harlequin back in the day with Bob.
Yeah.
Like it did the real
patterns. Some of the patterns.
Real close patterns. And they called them Harlequins and all that. Stranger does like a very similar thing, way darker.
Yeah, I didn't understand when I was getting so many requests for a stranger test. I'm like, why do people want stranger tests so bad? Because I have a couple of them, and I'm like, it's obviously stranger. Then they send me some combos. I'm like, all right.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's crazy.
I hatched some stranger spot noses and some stranger blackheads, and like
Ooh.
some are just like one is just insane. Like I'm like, what is going on? It's wild. Just got picked up some.
Put them wrong genes or right genes together, man, you get some whacked ass results. That's for sure.
Yeah. Since it's almost that time, Charlie, I do have one more question for you. Are there any other species that you're working on tests for?
So
green tree sex test.
I see green tree sex test would be a good one. Actually,
we've been working on that for a few months now.
Okay.
We got data for a bunch of males, a bunch of females, green trees, and we're working on that. And that is another reason why I'm nerding out on the computer downstairs, is to try to come up with some different methods of figuring that out.
Do you need more proven males and females?
Yeah, it always helps for that. You know.
All right, I'll get you some out.
We might have something that I haven't tested it yet, but we got something back from a bioinformatician that we paid money to look at this stuff for us, and he gave us some stuff to look at, but nothing was like too wowing. But at some point I'll test some of the things he gave us, but with that, I need to know that it's right. Like,
there's one thing I would, if you get time that, and you want to try something new, but the blue barons, some people think that the blue barons is, recessive. I noticed sometimes they'll put on there like,
that could be interesting.
Like if you do a blue to a green pairing, and then, if you get green babies, they'll mark them as like, het blue. Yeah, but no one knows if it's recessive or not yet. And I don't know sometimes. Well, and it's because if you do, I don't know if you do blue to blue, you get all blue. So it's not like like Labradors when you breed a black lab to a chocolate lab and you can hit all three.
We might already have a gecko and a blue-tongued skink sex test.
That'll be really good for the gecko.
That we have to validate that out, and I need sheds. Actually, somebody I met at the local show here in New York sent me crested gecko sheds that he knows are males and females, whatever. So I'm going to run, once things slow down a little bit here, I'm going to run them, and monitors too. We might have a monitor test.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's going to be huge.
But I know Jurgen tried it, but he couldn't get DNA on his method out of the monitor shed. So I don't know. We got to see. I talked to somebody in Tinley who's a monitor guy, and he's also, I think he was a vet or something. And he's like, well, I could get, no, it might have just been a breeder, because I think there is a monitor test out there. But yeah, so Nathan, that one that I showed you, so I have a chicken sex test. I have it.
Really?
What do you need?
I thought Dave was just screwing with us.
So, no, I've heard of people that go buy like the Tractor Supply chickens, and they end up with like 4 roosters.
So this year is the first. We've never had chickens. We've always wanted to do it, and we're like, screw it. And my son, he wanted, so we bought 10 supposedly female chicks online. I guess there's certain breeds, whatever, they could tell that they're females, but on the website it says we only guarantee if there's we're 90% accurate on what we say they are. So we got 10. So I was like, there's a chance that one of them is probably a male. Oh yeah, not that one that I sent you the picture of. The one I sent you a picture of, it's I don't think it's a male. It's another one that we had no idea. The last 2 mornings we were like, fuck is that? Like, no, we got a fucking rooster.
It's lunch.
So that's got to go to the farm.
Forever. So what do they test on the chicken to tell?
So you can test, like if I pull a feather out, I could, and I get the base, the root and all that, I could test from there, or blood. I was talking to Chad from RAL, and he was telling, because he does tons and tons of chicken sex tests in RALs.
Really? Okay.
And he's like, dude, just clip its toenails like you're clipping nails, and just clip it a little too far till it bleeds a little bit, and do the blood. Yeah, so yeah, chickens are funny, man. So today,
I can send you a feather with some meat on it, and you can test it.
like,
Just send them the whole wing.
yeah,
We're gonna pluck some feathers.
I'm just more sitting here thinking, it's like, all right, Charlie's going to be the first one to make Jurassic World and Jurassic Park become a real thing. He's going to reverse engineer the damn chicken into a T-Rex, and then we're all screwed.
dude, they look like little velociraptors to begin with.
I would, yeah, they do. Dude, they
I
eat
laugh when
anything.
they run as a pack.
I love it. Like at first, I was like, yeah, whatever. But after we got these baby chicks, I'm like addicted. Like, I'm
I
building
had
like
bugs. They're cool.
I'm building like a chicken mansion palace in my backyard. Like, so we were gonna buy just like a $1,500, $2,000 like coop / run from Tractor Supply, but then we started watching these YouTube videos of these crazy sick like chicken coops and stuff. And I'm like, I need that. I'm like, I can't have this crappy one. I need to have one of these. And like, you could buy them for like 20, 30, 40 grand, these like crazy chicken coops and runs.
Oh, shit.
But I was like, man, I could do that. So obviously that's another thing I put on my plate. But yeah, chickens are awesome. I love watching them run around and shit.
Would a peacock feather do the same for a chicken test since they're birds, or is it a different
I could
family?
Look. It's all publicly available tests, like, so I could see.
Okay.
Why you have a peacock that you want to?
We have a trio of peacocks. We have 2 piebalds and a normal, but leucism.
I could probably design a test for pied on it.
But leucism was in their background, and we hatched one that is leucistic.
Oh, wow.
So I want to get the leucistic sex test. Yeah, it's all white.
So wait,
it's pretty wild.
Is it still alive?
Yeah, it's in there.
So,
we're growing it up with the 2 chickens.
So if it was, if it's male, will it be all white with the feathers?
Yeah, with the fancy feathers like iridescent.
Really? That'd be fucking cool, man.
Google leucistic peacocks or albino peacocks. They're pretty wicked.
Wow. I knew you had the piebald ones.
They must need a lot of space, right? How much space is it?
We got them in like a 15 by 8, and it's like 10 foot tall in one area. So
well, I have it built, and I just finished. Well, I'm almost done putting like the hardware cloth around it, and I'm putting a metal roof on it, and
an elevator, double level, split wide.
It's 24 by 12, and I have 10 chickens.
And then I can put my in-laws in there.
And outside of that is where I'm building the coop with a ramp to go down into it. The coop is going to be like 6 feet wide by 12 feet.
You want a peacock?
No.
Yeah, you want some cock?
Whoa.
I want one. Yo, I definitely want one.
Do they make noise?
Yeah.
Like alarm system.
The males honk, the females
like
don't.
I have 2 acres, but my neighbors are still fairly close, so that's why we can't let the chickens just like free range around unless they actually would listen to me. But even we have them in like our garden area now, those bastards don't listen.
They'll destroy your garden. They'll go 3 houses down. My neighbors will kick them out of their house.
I can't do that. So
Can
that's why I want to
do
a huge run.
So there's a farm close to here that they've got some normal peacocks. Plus, I don't know if they might be leucistics. I don't know. There's like 2 white ones as well. And several times I almost hit those suckers coming home or going to work because they're just running rampant, doing their own little peacock thing. But no, Charlie, every time I would go to my ex's house, my ex's grandmother's house, they had peacocks. And the first time driving up, I heard this noise. It sounded like a kid screaming. He's like, ah! Yeah. I'm like, what the hell? And she goes, oh no, that's the peacock alarm system. I'm like, huh? And literally every time they would see a car, they would scream like that. It was like
I remember I worked at the Bronx Zoo when I was in like my early 20s for like 2 years doing IT stuff for the Bronx Zoo and like the Wildlife Conservation Society. There's like Central Park Zoo and the aquarium in Coney Island, and they had peacocks that roamed the zoo.
Yeah.
And they like heck people's cars and shit.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, that's not good.
They were
They're like
nasty.
fucking wild
I'm like,
turkeys, man.
yeah. I'm like,
Can they hop a 6-foot fence?
Peacocks can fly, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I got a
Yeah,
bunch
yeah.
of them.
I didn't know they were
You gotta-
flying. I thought they were too fat.
You
Thought they were
gotta
too
clip their
fat to
wings.
fly.
They have to cover the top too for the peacocks. He has a big area in the back for the peacocks.
Yeah, because they fly out.
They fly out like they'll hop right over a fence, dude.
And one night we were on the live, somehow one of ours got out. I had to go wrangle it that one night.
I remember that we were backstage bullshit, and then next thing Chris
He's
is like,
like,
"I gotta go."
Gotta go.
Always call her
Sounded
down
like a,
back
tur-
door
it sounded
with
like
the
a
big
turkey
top.
was landing on my back porch.
Looks like a circus convention, like a big pole.
I need to know from the chicken people where I could find cool like chicken morphs, like because obviously now
man.
that I have the space, like people are like, "Why are you building such a big run and coop for 10 chickens?" Well, now 9 because one's
No.
roasted.
You
But
know,
No,
I'm
you
like,
gotta
you're
talk to
definitely,
there.
they're like, you're definitely getting more. I'm like, no, it's just for them, man.
Nah, you gotta
Now
talk
I'm
to
like,
Nate. His wife knows like everything
yeah.
about
So
chicken.
you need to get
No,
those
my
ones
man.
that lay like the blue eggs and shit. Like
They're
the blue
jet
eggs.
black.
we have a
everything's
couple of
black.
cool ones, like these like gray ones with gray blue legs, and but I want like a leucistic or something cool, like
You
some
need the
crazy
all
shit.
black ones. Black.
Bantams are cool. Bantams are neat.
Yeah,
The black
or like those fuzzy ones. Are those the bantams?
No, they're the short little guys that they use for fighting.
What are the
Yeah.
what are the fur, like the ones with the crazy hair?
Not fluffies, softies,
Silkies.
silkies.
Silkies,
Yeah.
Yeah,
My cousin
I'm
used to have.
a
some.
chicken guy, man.
yeah.
The hell with this snake shit. Charlie's
Hell
going
with
to
these
keep it all the
stupid
way.
things.
Yeah,
Down with the chicks.
yeah, talk to Nate's wife Sharon. She'll have you. She knows them all.
That's it. That's the new fad. You're gonna see everybody start dropping ball pythons and cresteds to go do chickens now.
Look at my
Oh, yeah.
chickens.
It's
I'm
all
surprised
because of
how the
Charlie.
lizard people even able to get sheds. I mean, don't they eat their sheds?
That's the
I
thing. You
always
got to
thought
be
a
on
lot
top
of
of it.
geckos do. Yeah.
You
Some
gotta
do.
catch them bastards before
You
they.
know what,
eat
man?
it.
You might be honest. We're sitting there laying freaking snake eggs trying to sell them for $5. You might as well just eat them, right? With breeding chicken.
Eat snake eggs and breed chickens. I
Right.
love it.
At least
You
none of
heard
the
it
eggs go
first.
to
You heard it first.
But, all right, guys, I got to roll.
All right.
It was fun.
All right, Charlie. Thanks
I'll
for
be in
being
touch with you guys.
bro.
And have a good night. I'll probably throw you on in a little while and listen to Chris bullshit the rest of the night while I'm putting in.
Just make sure you send him some pictures so we can watch his face.
Are you
Thanks
going
for
Tinley
being
this
so
year, Charlie?
kind.
All right, talk to you guys later.
All right, I'll DM you on this.
See you, Charlie. All right, let me run some ads here quick, and then we will get back to this, guys.
Oh,
ShedTesting.com is your premier choice when it comes to shed testing. Charlie is adding new tests on a regular basis, so make sure to stop by often to see what's been added to the website. Let ShedTesting.com shave years off of your breeding plans. They're fast, accurate, and can't be beat. Don't forget to use the code CARPET15 at checkout to save 15% off of your order. ShedTesting.com. Use the best. Make sure you check out Nathan at Infinite Possible Pythons. He is your guy to go to if you want to get into the Bang project. On top of it, he's working a bunch of awesome ball python projects. Kahua geckos, Leachianus geckos, crested geckos, some scaleless corn snakes, and he is your one-stop shop for all your branding needs. So check him out. Check out Chris Shelley over at S Reptilia if you need a high-end ball python, blood python, locality boa, or colubrid. He's also Pennsylvania's distributor of Coco to Go and the Chipper, and he can also hook you up with some rats. So make sure you guys check out Chris over at S Reptilia. Head on over to Triforce Morphs if you're looking for that missing piece in your ball python breeding project. While you're there, add a little bit of laser citron to the mix, folks. John and Christine can also hook you up with the crested gecko, so don't forget that. Turn up the heat with Triforce Morphs. If you want to use the best reptile record keeping and tracking software on the market today, scan the QR code or click our partnership link in the description down below for a free 30-day trial of Husbandry Pro. I promise you, you will not regret it.
Sorry.
Look at this guy. Look. Nate, you should just hop on here and like join us, bro. Like you have no excuse. You've been sitting there in the chat. You can put the
You know the family left. You can get on. The family left.
Finally stopped watching. Well,
So
He'll listen.
I've come to one playing those. I just now thought about it. I was over at Chris's place Saturday. Maybe we should have done some updated footage or something while I was there, but we didn't. And now I really have to redo John and Christine's because they don't have crested geckos anymore.
Haven't done any footage
Or you're
over
moving
here.
on from the cresteds at least.
We'll
So
get
I'm
some
like-
good pictures.
let me tell you a story about a crested gecko.
Oh, you
No,
tell a
no,
story
no,
about
no.
crested geckos. I'll tell you a story about it.
Is there a
Are they
cat
really all
involved?
gone?
Let's tell a story about a Hamburg weekend and a crested gecko.
How about
Okay.
Hamburg weekend.
I'm listening.
So, Saturday. Okay. People around the table. We had our all-star gecko there. He's kind of for sale. He's kind of not. But he's sitting in the bin, right? So we have this lily white from Gen Gex or whatever they're called. And whatever. The hell's that name? What bother me? Where the damn thing came from. Real high in lily white. Jengek. So basically it has this super freaking white tail, which most lilies, have dirt on the bottom of their tail or anything. This thing just glows. Well, I have like 7 people just sitting down looking at all the cresties because we brought some of our cresties. Some people know we're cutting down on crested geckos. I don't know how many we're going to keep. Well, anyway, they're all sitting there watching them. Son of a bitch broke his tail off on the display. Okay. He's freaking out. Tail's going. I never really fully seen. I've seen when they broke their tail and it moving a little bit, like a little jump. This fucking tail was going 1,000 miles per hour around this bin.
Wow.
You can hear it. Ding, 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 ding. It's hitting him. It's hitting the fucking bins. It's just going crazy. So they're both going psycho in the bin now. So now it's bringing over a crowd of people. Everybody's like, what happened? I'm like, oh, fuck it. Christine's almost in tears. It's our favorite gecko. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So somebody's like, it just lost its tail. Anyway, Christine pulls it out real quick, tries to calm the crowd down, like, oh, kind of happens and blah, blah, blah. And she's all sad and had to go out and walk. She puts it on the table on a paper towel. Son of a bitch pops his stuff out of the paper towel, hits the floor, and fucking starts jumping across the entire floor. Christine's chasing him across the paper towel.
Oh, man, that was a show.
She literally chased it down 15 feet, dude.
Oh,
Wrapped the fucking tail, put it in a paper towel again, now puts it under shit. The fucking out from whatever she put it under. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. Dude, it wouldn't stop bouncing for almost an hour.
Damn.
wow.
Was this
I never heard of that.
Or
before.
after I called you guys on my way home from Chris's?
Before.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
That was early.
Like an hour and a half into the show.
But bro, like the show was kind of like hit or miss, kind of dead. But it was the most time we had literally like 12 to 15 people in front of the table, and it was like, woo! Everybody's watching this fucking gecko tail beating the shit out of the gecko, and I was like, oh my God, only us, only fucking us, right? So I get the tail out. She puts it underneath the table in a paper towel. She squishes it all up, puts it underneath, so people start calming down, dissipating. The fucking thing jumped out of the paper towel, fucking hit the ground, and start bouncing.
Kicks out to
Christine's
the
like-
aisle.
Christine's like, fuck my life, like fuck this day.
Smack the rocks. Fuck this.
Of course, at this point, I'm sad the gecko lost his tail because it was such a pretty gecko, and he's still really pretty without the tail. But it was so white and whatever, and I watched how upset she got, and I was like, fuck.
I'm surprised someone didn't go, so how much is it
You
now?
know me, man. I'm laughing.
Yeah, right?
I'm
Is he
laughing
for
like a
sale?
dog.
Is he for sale cheaper now?
He was. I was like, anybody wants him, he's $300 off. I was like,
Wild.
shit, I'll even give you the tail with him. Frame it.
Was anyone like banging on a tank or display or?
No.
Man, he
They
just
were just looking at him.
they were just looking at him, but like instead of
Nuts.
he like looked up at him. I like watched it happen, and he was like, just all of a sudden he just went spastic. He started fucking flying around in the bin.
Oh.
The next thing you know, the tail was snapped off, and that thing was hitting him, and
He's freaking out because his tail's hitting him, and he told John the tail had as much anxiety in it as he did.
Imagine getting knocked out by your own tail.
Right.
that little tail was
Anyway,
strong too. When we grabbed it, I'm like, it's like ding, ding, in my hand. I'm like, holy shit.
The weird.
You know what was other so weird? I've seen also geckos like lose their tails in tanks, for, like being stressed out and shit. A lot of blood. Dude, like 2 drops. That's it.
Huh.
He didn't even like bleed or anything. It was just like here's a tail, and the tail was going to kick his ass. Like the tail had something against the gecko. The tail definitely won.
Oh,
So yeah, that was kind of crazy. Never seen no shit like that at a show before.
Yeah, nah, me neither.
nuts.
But jumping off the table onto the floor and Christine chasing it down was the highlight.
They get that on a Facebook Live walk around, or
Yeah, you can just imagine Christine, son of a bitch, stupid fucking thing. She just turns it all the way running. Oh shit!
Depending what Kara ends up deciding here, she's worrying about Hudson, so I might have to jump off here then. Shortly.
Yeah.
I have to say. But no, so for those of some of you guys know, went over to Chris's to pick up some stuff, and needless to say, I have a grumpy boy now, or a grumpy little sucker. Put it that way.
Little grumpy.
Matt, what's up, dude? Happy Father's Day as well to you.
Yo, what's up, man?
Yo, what's up, Matt?
Happy Padre Day.
Yeah, I got freaking packing to do.
Yeah, nonstop,
dude.
Keep packing.
Oh my
packing.
god, she's got that pod coming Tuesday. We gotta get everything.
Well, when are you moving, though?
Right?
Huh?
When are you moving?
July 11th is settlement. It's less than a month.
You better put them kids to work, buddy.
Well, we're packing everything we don't need for a month. We're packing it all. Just keeping out whatever clothes we need, and everything else is. Snakes are all staying as is. I'll just take my time with it.
Now, did you get any lap over for this house, or is it like boom, boom?
What do you mean?
Like, do you have your shut time where you can have your house just like whatever and just keep moving shit over, like a couple weeks or a couple?
Yeah, he's got all the time in the world. That's what he means.
I got all the time in the world.
Okay.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I don't even know what I'm doing with this house yet. I don't know if I'm going to rent it or keep or sell it.
Because even with the snakes, like when you have that kind of time, you can literally just empty them there, put them down, in a bin, whatever, in bins and shit like that, and take the racks over, start heating them up, come back home, grab them suckers, and drive them back.
I think the last thing coming out of this house is the incubator.
Yeah, it makes it so much easier. So much less stressful, I should say.
Do you have another incubator, Chris?
I do, but it's way small.
How about
yeah, do you got an extra one?
Yeah, you got an extra, like anything extra that can hold whatever you got, because you can heat that thing up while it's there, transport the shit over, drop it in that incubator, then bring the incubator. That's kind of what we did. I went out and bought one when we moved just because of that. So it's ready to go. You just literally put them in and then just bring them up gradually from whatever temperature you're outside at. We moved on a hot summer day, so it kind of went from hot into hot. But if you
well, I talked to Zach, and he did like 3 moves, and he said he just had a big cooler, and he just took the tubs out of the incubator, plop in the cooler, and drove away.
Here's my advice: when you do a big cooler like that or big box or whatever, because like I said, it's warm out. Put that stuff you either pack snakes with, blankets, put that in between them. So basically, if you're moving in the truck and stuff, it's like stability.
Yeah,
well, I figured I would pack all I got water bottles
and
like
water
crazy.
bottles.
Yeah,
water bottles. So throw them in there. Because like I said, at least we're in summertime, so you'll probably get like an 80-some degree day. So it's not like you're moving these things in 15-degree weather.
Yeah.
Keep your car just don't ice it out. Don't
I'm just hoping I can fit
fucking driving there.
I'm just hoping I can fit both ARS racks in my van. I think I should be able to.
I fit a whole ARS rack in my Durango, but I had to dismantle it.
Yeah. I'm going to take it apart.
You'll totally fit them, bro.
I'm just going to take it all the levels apart, keep all the levels together, but
you should be able to get almost 2 of them in there. Like I said, we did it.
And they just stack the tubs.
I couldn't believe it. The whole thing in there.
I was going to say, because you should be able to, because I put 4 or 5 levels of a 1065 plus 3 4x2x2s in my truck.
That whole thing fit in my Durango, which we could have.
Yeah.
You were there that day when we did that, weren't you? Put that thing apart, put it in the Durango. We're like playing Tetris.
Oh yeah, I think.
Nate
There
says
you
you
go.
five racks.
There's Nate. Nate knows
Five
what I got.
rats.
Yeah, you should easily get at least at minimal 2 of them in there.
That's the only reason I kept this van was for moving.
Good. When you're ready,
I'm over it.
When you're good, ready to get rid of it, let me know.
I want to. My plan is I'd like to sell the van and my car, and I figure I'll just get like a RAV4 hybrid with a trailer. Because now I have somewhere to put a trailer.
Fucking
You're
yo.
good. You're good to rap for.
Yeah,
RAV4 for
I don't
trailers?
think my Camry's going to be doing good up in like the mountain area. I don't. Yeah.
Would not be
Not
trouble.
those roads.
Pulling no damn trail with a RAV4. She gonna rip the back end of that little truck.
Just a
Oh, I'm
little
talking about a little baby trailer. I don't need a lot of space. I'm talking about like a little 5x8 or 6x10 or 6x12, something like that.
Yeah,
Nothing big.
that's what I want.
Yeah.
I want to go back to a freaking van, to not have to take the trailer. The other way around.
Yeah, well, I thought I'm just tired of paying the registration, and it just sits. And I'm not doing shows like that. I'm not doing hotel shows like that. I'm gonna do,
You gotta start making more. You gotta stop this being a half-ass hobby breeder and actually make snakes.
Balls Deep 2.0 is coming to it soon.
Yeah, I'll get
We're
a
expanding.
trailer, get it wrapped.
Yep.
New
Give John
snake
some
room.
work to do.
New
that
snake
way
room.
Dude,
they can put some
huge.
hidden
That
things in
snake
your
room-
wrap.
That snake room's probably about 4 or 5 of these.
Rat room expansion. Yeah.
Hiding little dicks everywhere. I'm sorry, it's happening.
No. No more snakes. No more. Maybe a couple more racks, but I'm not trying. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Mahoney,
A couple
you just
more
said
rats,
no more
a couple more
snakes, but now you're saying you're going to get a couple more racks, which means
Yeah,
more
just so I
snakes.
can rotate. Just so I
This
can rotate.
dude
And I
straight
don't
up
have
said
freaking
he couldn't
600
wait to
racks.
move so he can expand, and all of a sudden now he's like, "Oh, I want to expand now. I'm gonna freaking shrink it down."
No, I'm not looking to really expand.
We should go other species, man.
Yep.
Can't wait till I have more room for all these projects, so I can put more
Nah.
things in the projects.
Room for activities. Daisy's like snake room / my dance room. I said, yeah.
Like, what? There's going to be a
You heard
pole
it
in
here
there.
first.
You're
Man.
going to be on
Balls
the
Deep
pole.
shut down within the year.
I'm anxious for you guys to come here see the new snake room because I need I want to get some opinions on layout help.
I'm waiting for you to come here and take a video.
I'll give you some opinions.
Well, once you get to you see, all right. Here's the thing, though.
Ooh.
You're too close to Philly.
Oh wow!
All right,
Wow,
I do not do city shit. I do not do city shit.
I'm not in the city. I'm suburbs. I'm outside the city.
He's in the armpit.
I'm in the county, baby.
Oh my God.
If I come to your house, can I pull into a driveway?
No,
All right, it ain't fucking happening.
maybe my neighbor.
You can
Probably
pull on
go
the
in-
sidewalk.
If you come to my new house, you're not pulling in the driveway either.
Why
Well, he
not?
said, when you move, we'll come over. You ain't got no time to do no damn snake videos, boy. You in
Yeah, I
a
do.
you in a rush.
No,
You got
these
1
are
month.
I got a month.
Well,
We'll be
once we move, because you're moving, like you're gonna have a little bit more land to you, right?
Yeah, you're moving in 3 weeks.
I still got to build that room.
That's all right.
Well, so what are
It's
you gonna build?
somewhat
What do you mean
built.
you gotta build the room?
It's somewhat built. It's framed. I got to finish rocking it and insulating it, and power and all that.
You're
He'll have a
no,
house warming.
I can parallel park. I just don't trust other people to not hit my truck.
That's what insurance is for, brother.
Oh, dude, trust me. Nah. Plus, like,
Nah.
You got to worry. Someone will steal your truck.
even John, going to your house,
Nobody wants that.
I
during
even
the
get
day.
slight anxiety just because of it starts like getting city like. Like I do not do cities well, guys.
Bro, the way you come to my fucking house is nothing like city like.
Dude, I say it starts to get close. All the
what?
traffic, that one main drag right there that I got, yeah, it starts giving me anxiety,
You
bro.
can see horse and buggies and he thinks it's in the city.
Where's
That's
the
a farm that's like freaking like 100 acres, dude. Like, there's a couple houses on my street up and down. Yes, Norristown's a couple blocks away, but you don't even come in that way. So shut dude, I'm as suburb as it gets for the way you come in.
Wow.
Just saying. Just
Tell us how you
Sorrentino,
really feel.
once you move, I'll come up or over. However, I gotta go.
I got
How
a
about this? You're
driveway,
not
got
invited.
in the front of the house, and we got a white picket fence in the back. You better leave me alone with my city life over here.
Yeah, you have any
Yeah, I'll sick my pit bull on you.
Hey,
like, dude, like
we
I
got
like
a little freaking flower out front by the mailbox that says welcome. I'm
Like,
that's out here.
My wife's got a flag out there that says
Jeremy's
"Welcome to the
bougie.
shit show."
guys. Like I don't think you realize how much I hate bad traffic. Like I avoid cities even around me that I'm familiar with, just because I hate
Do you hold
dealing
your
with
pinky up when
people
you
in
drink?
traffic. What?
Are you so bougie you hold your pinky up when you drink?
Sometimes, yes.
That's offensive.
Like for us, Chris and I are doing Fredericksburg, AARPE. We're gonna be doing that. I looked up how to get there.
Wait, what's it?
I'm already anxiety level slightly elevated because I saw I gotta take 95.
Oh my god.
Wait, what show is that?
The
that?
double ARPE.
Where's that at? I didn't hear this one. I don't know.
Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Fredericksburg. They're bringing one farther north. It's usually in North Carolina, I think, was the one. The one we just went to was in the spring
Is that
in
Troy?
North
Is
Carolina.
that Troy show?
Yeah, this one's in the fall. They're moving it up.
Chris, you better videotape Jeremy through that DC traffic. We need to see this live.
I'm not sure where it's bringing him in. I don't know why it's putting you on 95. I thought Fredericksburg was a little bit inland.
Watch out for them protesters,
dude. Let me.
You'll be all right. Have Kara videotape you because you'll be driving. So yeah.
Here's the thing: we gotta take separate vehicles up.
Oh my god!
Oh,
she's gotta drive her car with the kids in.
That's right.
And I gotta take the truck with all the show stuff.
Jeremy,
so I don't think it'd be smart to put the snakes in the bed under the tarp.
No, yeah,
that'd be a little bouncy for them.
I might have to take something else too.
Yeah. Which after I said that to her, she goes, "Oh well, you know what? That actually isn't really that bad because now I'll have my car. I can just go take the kids to go do whatever while we're down there, and I'm not going to be worried about it." Like,
damn, you're paying double gas, double tolls. Ooh,
this boy is going to be bitching so bad come that Monday morning.
We'll see. Hopefully not.
Couldn't
take it. Better not be bitching. You know what though?
You need a van. You need a van.
Well, I did say to Kara, I was like, if we had a van like
go.
Sorrentino or Nate have, this wouldn't be an issue.
When is this show? What's the date?
September 5th and 6th.
Why don't you rent a van? Just rent one.
So
that'd be easier than driving two cars
for the whole weekend. I don't know what they would cost for a whole weekend.
Yeah, I'd rent a van, dude. That'd be a lot. So you're all together, and save you on gas and tolls.
No, he's already stuck. He just said it's what happened after I drive.
I said, yeah. Yeah.
Get Uber.
Uber?
Yeah.
Uber the freaking way.
No. I'm saying you rent the van, you all get together, everyone drives down there, and then when you're down there, if she wants to go anywhere, she can Uber around town.
With the kids?
Yeah.
With
the
car seats
then you're dragging car seats and shit.
Oh shit, car seats.
Yeah.
I
mean, it makes it a little more complicated.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you better videotape while you're down there.
What's that?
You better videotape while you're down there. I want to see this play-by-play.
Maybe.
You know what? Here's the thing, though. One, it's a new playing field. It's people more than likely that I have never seen before. So it's a new, fresh audience. I'll have probably one of the best selections at that point in time as well for availability. So it's almost like it's literally that show's hitting like a peak spot for it.
I just hope you have a way better time than when I did my first banker, man. We hit traffic, bro. That literally, I still talk to myself about that down. We went up to freaking
There you go. I'm gonna rent my van out.
What was it at? Rhode Island. Bro, we hit traffic on the way home. It took us 7 or 8 extra hours to get the fuck home.
Oh,
On top of the whatever it took.
It took us 13.5 hours to get home from Rhode Island.
That's the worst
Oh,
taste in my mouth about traveling.
I remember that.
Didn't
And then
wasn't
the show was
didn't you
terrible.
do that with Danny or something?
Didn't you go up in the winter?
Yeah, we went up. Danny was up there. It was one of the funnest nights I ever had. Like me and Danny,
It was,
I never drank so much in my life. But me and Danny got destroyed drunk.
it was worse. So,
It was
yeah.
a 2-day show, so it was kind of like a Repticon. You know what I mean? Like we went in Saturday. The people up there were kind of whatever. Like stole a couple snakes. The way couldn't got paid for. That Sunday, me and Danny went out, and then we came back to the hotel, and we just sat down and started talking.
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Sunday, you.
No, Sunday. Yeah, Saturday night we got sat back at the hotel, and we kicked 2 bottles of his freaking whatever he drinks.
And turkey.
Beer. Bro, freaking his wife was passed on the bed. Christy's sitting there. I'm like, she left me in a hotel. I got lost in a hotel for an hour. I didn't know where my room was. Bro, we came in that morning. Danny didn't move so much 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh man.
Oh, then you gotta pack up and leave.
We had to drive home in that shit. I was so hungover. Then had to do a 13-hour drive after that show home. It was the worst taste ever. Traffic. But yeah, I wish you the best, man, with the traffic. It's like I said, you do it to go down 95 and that DC traffic. Oh, God bless you, bro.
Well, see, that's what freaks me out. I'm pretty sure. Like, what was?
How far is it?
You should
How
be able
many
to
hours
come
drive?
in on an angle. You shouldn't have to go out to the
That's
out
what I
to
was
DC,
thinking. Like, you
man.
should be able to
I hope.
bypass that.
How far is the drive?
I think for me it's like 4 hours.
Oh, all right.
I'm at 2 hours and 43 minutes.
Oh,
Maybe I'm not even that far.
I thought it was deeper. My bad. So you should be good.
All right. Well, so, all right. So, all right. Actually, all right. So now, to do the fastest way, yeah, it brings me through. Here, hold on.
Kirby's all concerned now. He's
Yeah,
like,
but I'm going to tell you right
he's
now.
searching the shit out of this.
If it tells you to go through DC, right now's not the time to look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. That's gonna be quadruple during the day.
Unless you're coming out, unless we're going even super early Friday, you're still gonna Friday morning would Friday mid-afternoon. I don't know. Friday
3 hours.
Friday afternoon, forget it.
ugh.
You
I
just
haven't
stop.
found a good time to go through DC. I'm not gonna lie.
Kara
That's
wants
true.
to take Hudson to
3 in
the
the morning.
urgent care or whatever. So I'm gonna jump
All right.
off here, guys.
Yeah.
You all right with just ending it tonight?
Yeah, that's good.
I got stuff.
All right. I do apologize,
Yeah.
everybody, for the abrupt ending, but Hudson did kind of whack his head pretty good, and he's got a little gouge and
Yeah, get them
it's
checked out.
swelling up and still kind of oozing a little bit. So we're gonna go get the little guy looked at. I thought it would have stopped doing its thing by now, but apparently it's still not. So better safe than sorry. So gonna go with Kara. We're gonna take Hadley along because Hadley's apparently worried sick as well. So yeah. So
brother.
I'll keep everybody here posted. Channel members, I will have a member live this week. So I'll keep these guys in the loop on that. We will have it will be a short live next Sunday, just because I'm pretty sure we're all going to be tired from the party on Saturday. At least I know I'll be tired from cleaning up on Sunday.
I have a show on Sunday too.
Oh shit, that's right.
Wow.
Yeah, you're going up to Hershey,
entertaining.
yeah?
No, that's not the Hershey one. This
Lehigh.
next Sunday is the Lehigh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you at Hamburg?
Nah.
No, you didn't go.
Yeah.
Bro, Hamburg was a ghost town without y'all, everybody there.
Uh,
It was an absolute ghost town.
Man.
We canceled one.
That's
I
all
will
I'm
try to
thinking about
get
getting that
a
table
video
for. I
out
don't
this
know.
week, though. So, yeah. But I'll keep you guys in the loop as to what's going on. Everybody, thanks very much for all the love and support. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And we will see you next week. And everybody that is coming to the barbecue, be ready for a good time. We're going to have it.
Good luck.
Catch you all later.
See you next weekend.
Yep. See you on Saturday, guys.
Nah.
Later.